Whew, boy. Well, I've just gotten back from a day hanging out on Capitol Hill, doing stuff, shopping, working, and all that kind of stuff. And I've been testing out this new backpack. I believe it's called the Vagrant or some such. The text will pop up now correcting me. But they're selling it as sort of like a all-day, all-purpose kind of backpack, which is probably true because I've been using it all day and it's kind of done everything for me here. As you can see, it's kind of packed to the gills right now, and I'm not going to lie, it feels a little top-heavy, probably because I put all the drinks up there. But just to show you quite what fits into this thing, I would just go through my day backwards. Boy, this thing has got to weigh like 40 pounds right now, or 50, I don't know what. Okay. So, last thing I did was went to Trader Joe's, and normally, you bring, if you're wearing a little backpack, it's not going to work. If you've got a shoulder bag, you're not going to have a lot of room for, if you need to get a 6-pack of beer or something like that, or you've got some bananas, they're going to get squished. So this thing has got this, oh man, enormous cargo area, which has these handy little things. It actually zips on both sides. And it really is just an enormous cargo area. So let's just kind of unpack the junk really quick so you can see how much stuff we've got in there. Zip her up. So now you've got pretty much this much smaller bag, which was what I carried into Trader Joe's. So, but I came from Trader Joe's, I rode all the way up from Bauhaus where I was doing some work. So I've got my laptop and stuff in there. And so in this little front area here, which is secured with this very handy elastic band, which means you can leave it nice and tight here, and this part is stretchy too, so you just stretch it down. It actually goes into a little pocket here so it doesn't flap around. So, this little section here, this is all weather sealed, by the way. It feels a little floppy, like the material isn't very thick, but it does feel strong. And there's just enough room here for quite a large laptop, actually. So I've got my MacBook in there, and then usual. Oops, zip that shut. Smart. I got a book in here. Stuff like your power adapter and everything goes in here. And then, of course, got an email somewhere, dinged. And then, but on the way down to Bauhaus when I was going to work, I stopped by the bookstore, and when I picked up some books, and since I knew I was going to be going grocery shopping later, I didn't want to put them in the big middle section, so I put them in the big back section, which is in this traditional messenger style, bike messenger style backpack area that rolls down. So, in there, you got a ton of room that goes right up against your back, so it's better to put flat stuff in there. So then I've got a couple of books, and that's all. A couple more books. A couple of more books in there. So that's quite a lot of stuff. I mean, this is I couldn't have fit all these books and my laptop and even one of these grocery items in my other backpack or in my shoulder bag, as handy as that is. So this thing is really quite a multi-purpose, creature. I'll point out some other things I'll point out some troublesome issues though. Whew. So it's not all fun and games with this thing though. There are a couple of issues. The one thing that I mentioned is that the material actually feels pretty thin. You can see there's no padding in there. I mean, not that there needs to be for this part that rolls down, but this whole part up here, even though there's tons of room in it, it really squishes down to almost nothing. There's hardly any padding in there between the sections. So up here it's weatherproof, but if something bangs up against it, then ding, broken monitor. There's padding here, obviously, for your back, but it's really only like a 1/4 inch. So now, when I was riding my bike, when I started going any speed, these little things on the shoulder things, whatever they are, these things were flapping like crazy, like whacking me on the back. And there isn't really anywhere to, you can kind of stuff them in here like that, but you know, it'd be nicer if there was a little elastic band or something that you could, you know, maybe I'm missing out on something here, but it'd be nice to have something that held these little things down. Same with the ones down here, and these things here, which connect across the chest. And I thought there was one more, but maybe not. There's also hardly any ready access stuff, like if you've got a water bottle or if you want to put your cell phone somewhere. Nothing. You got nothing. You know, it's got to go in your pocket or something like that. The other, let's see, the one that I reviewed most recently, which was from Chrome, had, you know, a little pretty easy access flap right here. But this one is a lot more heavy duty in that, you know, everything's zipped up and weather sealed, and you know, you've got a buckle to do it instead of just. It's also quite a tall backpack. Like, this isn't a compact backpack solution. If you really only carry around a couple of things like a laptop, a book, your power adapter, then you'd be better served with something smaller. But if you don't like the idea of, you know, oh, I need to stop by and grab some milk, and then having to, you know, carry the milk in a separate bag from your backpack, then this is probably a good idea, because it's got that huge area in it. I mean, it really is gigantic. In fact, let's take a quick tour. So it zips all along the edge, like so, and it accordions open like gigantic amount. There is just a huge cave in there. Like, you could probably fit a whole child in there. I mean, I don't recommend it. There's not a lot of padding. And like I noted before, like this thing opens up really wide, and unfortunately you can't really zip this up very well if it's full at the bottom. But these little clips are really handy because they let you sort of fasten it at the top so this part doesn't wobble around, or, you know, if it's empty it doesn't, you know, get squished or anything like that. So that's the Vandal from Mission Workshop. The price is $229, which is pretty expensive for a backpack, honestly. But it's not really for me to make a value judgment there, because you probably know whether or not you're willing to spend $229 on a backpack in the first place. It's an expensive backpack, but it's also a weatherproof backpack, highly expandable. It's pretty comfortable. It's not exactly compact, but it is compact enough to where just if you're, you know, taking around a couple of things. That's why it's expandable and not just born big like that BOA XL or whatever that Matt reviewed. So, although I do wish there was a little more padding between the compartments, and that there was an easier way to sort of stow these little flapping doodads. I think it's a pretty solid backpack, and, you know, whether it's worth $229 to you is probably something you should you know, ruminate on for a little while. In the meantime, I gotta start putting this stuff in the fridge, or else it's all gonna rot.